Hey, this is Vinny of Funeral Language. You're listening to Heavy Mental Breakdown.
All right, Vinny, I got a question for you.
Let's hear it.
Funeral language. Something tells me that you run some kind of like funeral service out there in Indianapolis. Is that
I
where
wish,
you are?
dude. That'd be sick. Yeah. So I'm in
Yeah,
Indy.
funeral language. So it's like
Nothing
it's like the things you never even want to hear.
that's put together. Yeah.
Exactly, because whenever I'm at a funeral, like I just don't want to be there, and just like, oh, we're
Right.
gathered here because of this, and I'm just like, man, this funeral language, I don't want to hear this right now. But you're the
It's
opposite.
all very dark.
You're the
Dark and
opposite.
gloomy.
You're the exact opposite. I wanted to bring you on because I wanted to hear some funeral language today. I haven't been to a funeral in a while, so I'm just like, all right, let's do this tonight.
I haven't either, to be fair. So if someone were to ask for like a fair representation of actual funeral language, I wouldn't even know where to begin.
I'll send them your way if someone asks me one day.
Yeah, just send them to the Instagram. That'll do all the talking for me.
Exactly. So you are out in Indianapolis. Whereabouts are you like in
Right
Indianapolis?
downtown, baby. Yep.
Oh,
Yep.
cool. Are you a sports fan by any chance?
Not at all.
Not at all. Okay.
But I
was
mean,
gonna ask-
enough to know that I know that IU is absolutely crushing right now. So I do know that much.
okay.
But that's about it.
Gotcha. I was in Indianapolis one time, like 10 years ago. I was at a hotel, but I went there because I used to work for a horror convention.
Oh yeah,
They were
with the
called,
convention city.
Yeah, it was called Days of the Dead, and
Okay.
a lot of like horror, like iconic horror, like actors and stuff were there signing autographs and shit. It was fun.
I've definitely seen friends post pictures from that. So.
Yeah, because they do a lot of different cities, but for some reason, the indie show, that's the one that people show up. It's funny. Well, because a lot of the other ones are like Chicago, LA, so it's kind of like the bigger cities.
Yeah.
And so when something comes out to Indianapolis, there's not too many other like big conventions and stuff for horror
Listen, man,
in indie.
we have very few claims to fame, but our convention center
Yeah.
is the one, baby.
It absolutely was, and I had a blast.
Like that's even cool to say.
Yeah, I had a blast. I had no idea Indy was going to show up the way they did. I didn't know what to expect.
Oh yeah.
But it was a lot of fun.
You know,
Yeah.
I'm a transplant. I've been here since 2016 or 17, and I love it here. I've been all over the place. I lived in Austin for a while.
Oh,
Been
okay.
in like the DC metro area. I'm from Michigan, but Indy it's cool, man. It catches a lot of heat from people who have lived there their whole lives,
Right.
because that's just what you do when you live one place your whole life.
I was going to say, I think anybody,
Yeah.
from wherever they're from, feel that
It's
way.
it's what you do, but like
Yeah.
being a transplant here, and there's a lot of people that feel this way. It's a super chill downtown. Like being downtown, I don't feel like this overwhelming sense of like, everybody's rushing everywhere and all these things going on. I don't know. I dig the vibe. So anybody coming into Indianapolis listening to this, you'll like it. If you've heard terrible things, put them out of mind.
Just don't go to the Pacers games, because we're Bulls fans on this podcast.
All right. I'll take that. I was a Bulls fan as a little kid, and now I don't care either way.
There's a lot of rivalry with Chicago and Indy and Indiana, like all those teams there, because they're so close.
Yeah. No, I'm sure there is.
A lot of beef
truly
there.
I probably should brush up on it just so I can have like casual conversation. But man, I am clueless.
No,
on
you're
any
good.
of it.
You're good. I always try to bring up sports on this podcast, but I always just get blank stares. I'm like, what are you talking about? I'm like, I should run a separate sports podcast just so I can get
There
that
you go.
part of me out.
I'd wonder what the overlay of like, because all those bands in New York, like I always feel like they're posting stuff about the Bills and stuff. So I wonder like how
Right.
many dudes who make heavy music are like actually into sports.
I
would
don't
think it's,
know.
like,
I don't
lesser,
think.
but
Yeah, I don't think it's that many.
yeah.
I don't know. I love sports.
We picked up the guitar instead of the. I mean, I played golf and baseball, so nothing too crazy, but I don't know.
Anyway, that'll be for the other podcast.
Yeah, I'll go on that too and talk
So-
about my high school glory days.
Exactly. So for anybody who doesn't know who Funeral Language is, what can you tell us about you and the band? Like, where did it begin, and why did you decide to go this route, and the name? What's just a little bit of history about you?
Oh man, yeah. So I'm just a one man show. It all kind of started back in, I don't know, 2011 probably is when I got my first pod farm, and so for the first time ever, I could record and play guitar just sitting at my computer, and started writing songs. That was probably like the inception of it. It didn't become like a thing until 3 or 4 years ago. I was newly sober and decided to really dig into music. I'd always been in a band. My brother and I had like this 2-piece post-metal instrumental band for the longest time. He and I had been playing together forever, just been very involved in music, and I was like, I got to get back to that. So started writing and recording some more. Probably this would have been in 2019, and kind of realized I was getting a collection of songs together, and I was like, I really need to do this just for my own personal kind of satisfaction. I want to put a record out. So I hit up my brother who records, produces, engineers, all that good stuff, and told him my plans, and he and I worked together and put out my first record. None of this was supposed to happen. It doesn't really sound like how I sound now, but it was a huge stepping stone for me figuring out just the process and like learning my voice. I hadn't really screamed like that before or anything really. So,
Yeah,
that
you
record,
don't really know how it's going to go until you actually just fucking start the thing, huh?
dude. Yeah, exactly. and I give that record a lot of beef just because, like, it is a first record. It's kind of all over the place in sound. But, man, it was instrumental in figuring out that, A, I want to keep doing this and continuing to craft my sounds and learning about my voice to the point now where, like, screaming is my, like, favorite thing to do of everything. Like, I love tracking vocals. And I remember being so fearful. I remember having all the music done for that first record and getting to the point where it's like, all right, now it's time for vocals, and I was terrified. And now it's like,
now it's your
I got
favorite
that all
part.
day, baby. Favorite part, yeah. So, coming off of that record, and then I did this like silly little like I covered 3 Christmas songs, and I realized how much fun I was having playing these kind of styles of riffs. And then I was like, well, I just need to kind of follow that thread, and it's more in the style of like what you hear now. So then I wrote a 3-song EP called Cirque. That's more in the vein of like the stuff I get now, like Every Time I Die, Norma Jean, just Scarlet, old school metalcore. So that brings us to this record now, which is called Thank You for the Dead Body. It's 8 songs, very much in the vein of Every Time I Die, The Chariot, Norma Jean, all that good stuff. So have definitely dialed in the sound from when I started. And I'm loving it, man. I'm having a great time.
Thank you for the Dead Body. I
you for the
love
Dead Body.
it's so fun. So I'm a huge horror fan, and I love the route that you're taking with the funeral language thing, because like you can just totally go off the rails with it and just have a blast. Like it would be so fun if you were to play a show one day and like they just brought out a casket, they just rolled the casket out, and then it like opens up and you slowly start to sit up, and like that's how you come out.
That'd be crazy.
And like
and
have your picture in the back, like rest in peace,
right,
Vinny.
in loving memory.
In loving memory of Vinny.
Dude, it's so funny because like I did not put it together when I named the record, and then I did another podcast, and he was like, dude, I love how the title plays into the name, and I was like, didn't even think about it. So now,
Really, you didn't even think about it. I thought that's why you went there
crossed
out.
my mind. No, it never crossed my mind. And it's funny because you know how band names just kind of become like whatever. You just say them a bunch, you get used to it, like they're silly, like corn. Like you don't think about it being like corn. It's just corn. It's just the band. So now I hear like funeral language, whatever. I don't think about the meaning. I don't think about the words. It just is the band.
No,
And
dude.
so
Everything
when
you
Ian
do has got to
mentioned that-
revolve around a funeral. That's your thing, dude. That's your thing.
Well,
Yeah,
hopefully when I die, it pops off then. And it's a big party because
when I die. Thank you for the dead body. It almost sounds like a mortician who's prepping for a funeral. That's something that he would say, "Oh, thanks for bringing that over."
Yeah, I mean, yeah, probably.
That's
It's
sick.
more like a tongue-in-cheek sort of like nod to all the sort of people and things that have, sometimes I feel like just sort of a shell of a man. I sing a lot about personal struggles and stuff, and the thank you for the dead body was just sort of this like some a thank you to all the folks and things along the way that have made me feel that way. So that's where that came from. All sort of like sarcastic.
Mm-hmm. It's kind of dark. It's almost like when you say thank you for the dead body. The dead body. It's like you people have just ruined me down to the core, and now I'm just a corpse because you guys have kind of just destroyed me mentally, physically. I can't do this anymore.
That's 100% it. And I draw a lot on, I alluded earlier that I got sober. There was like 4 or 5 years that were just really bad, just as far as like the drinking goes, and just being a terrible person, no accountability, just bad relationships. And so things are good now, but it's hard to like come up with singing about heavy stuff when your life is good. It's like, oh, like,
right,
I love my wife, I love my kids, I love my job. Like nobody wants to hear that. So I really draw on that like darker period. So yeah.
Do you feel that music helped get you sober? It was kind of like that outlet. Like whenever I'm craving something, whenever I'm in a certain mood, instead of getting it out in the bottle, let me get it out on the mic or the lyrics or my guitar or something. Like what role did music play into that, or did it at all?
I feel like I'm supposed to say yes, but if I'm being completely honest, it really didn't. It was, for me personally, it was sort of a moment of I was finally like confronted, and I was like broken enough to accept the help. And it really just switched on a dime. And I would say the biggest things that helped me stay sober were just relationships and connecting with other human beings. Music has always been important to me, so to say it didn't play any role might not be fair, but I mean, a lot of people would be like, oh, it saved my life. And
right.
In that instance, it might be doing it now more so than then. Is like I have this thing now that I can fall back on, and I do know if I go to, thankfully, fortunately, in the 6 years I've been sober.
Hell yeah, good for you.
I haven't had
time.
Thank you, man. Thank you so much. But I haven't had any. It's never interested me again. It truly was just like done.
It's crazy how it takes us to get to the very, very bottom until we kind of start to snap out of what's the things in our life that we want to fix. Like that was the thing for me. Like I was at the very, very bottom, and then I'm like, okay, I'm going to be forced now to deal with this. Fine.
Yeah.
And then like once I kind of went through it, it was a tough kind of like 6 months or so, but it was like, man, I'm such a better person coming out of that.
Absolutely. And it's like things are more difficult now, but I can show up and face them. And that's kind of going back to what I was saying. Maybe the music's more important now than ever because, life does continue to get harder. I do need to show up and face things head on. Whereas before I could just be like, well, fuck it. I'm going to ignore it. I'm going to drink it to oblivion. So
I don't even want to think about this right now. Let me have a drink just so I can not feel that feeling right now.
Yeah. Whereas now I get to come up here and rip my guitar and scream at the microphone. So then maybe not so much, but now for sure.
Well, speaking of the new music, we are here because of a track that you wrote called Rain Check.
Yeah.
Out of all your tracks, why did you choose this one for us to break down?
Because of everything happening in our country today. Most of the songs are on this record are about relationships, about myself, my own struggles. This one is definitely geared towards pushing off accountability, turning away from the horrific things that are happening, turning a blind eye, and playing the victim. And so I thought it was super important, kind of now more than ever, to dive into something like this. So
you are the fourth artist to come on within the last like 30 days or so to have a song that they wanted to break down because it related to politics, and it was inspired by politics in the news.
Yeah.
And I feel like I didn't really realize how much of an effect that it has on art, because in a way like politics is one of those things for me that I can turn it on and I can also turn it off. Like when I'm all about like doing research and wanting to understand it, I'm in it.
Yeah.
But when I'm like, I am just so numb to this shit right now, like I want no part of it, like I can easily kind of just disassociate from it. But the people who can't or kind of don't want to, I have realized that a lot of, and especially people in the metal scene, are really bothered by the things that are happening right now, and a lot of people are taking out their aggressions. I mean, I'm definitely upset about a lot of it too, but a lot of artists are using the words to get it out through their music.
For sure.
So it's yeah.
I tried to take. I think I try not to be like too on the nose. Like my first record, there were some like political songs where it's basically just like, fuck you, you're a bootlicker, fuck white supremacy. Like it was very on the nose. Like with this song in particular, I think I get the message across, but in a much more artful way. I think it paints a better picture. I'm not just saying, fuck you, you suck, you're ruining our country. It's kind of attacks it from a couple different perspectives. So, I'm excited. I'm excited to see what you think.
Yeah, like I said, I have not listened to it yet, so I'm stoked to dive in now that I know a little bit what it's about. All right, this is Rain Check by Funeral Language. Let's break this one down. All right, before we listen to what you're about to say next, let's break down those lyrics.
Nice.
You like
well
how I
done.
did that? There's too much goddamn radio silence. What you're expecting from me. Oh, I'm expecting from the crowd that has gathered in protest. Hey, hey, ho, ho. All right, Ramones. Tell these motherfuckers time to go. Okay,
right.
So there's too much radio sign when what you're expecting from me, I'm expecting from the crowd. What you're expecting from me, I'm expecting from the crowd.
Yeah.
So people are being, what you're saying is people are being too quiet about this situation and everybody's wanting somebody to speak out, but you're like, you got to speak out because you have this platform or you're this or that, but then they're the ones kind of just hiding behind phones and behind the TVs not doing shit about it, but they're expecting others to. Is that what that part means?
Fucking nailed it, dude.
Cool.
I think there's this tension of like, oh, you wanted me to say something? I was hoping y'all would do it. I feel like there's this, it can be like this passing the buck.
Yeah.
And then people who you feel like are supposed to be doing something should be saying something. It's like, hello, and then it's like, am I the crazy one here? Like, why is there so much fucking silence?
So when you say silence, are you so? I think the silence is what throws me off a little bit in this, only because I feel like everybody's talking about it, everyone's posting about it, it's all over the news. What in particular are you talking about with silence? Are these more to individuals than like a news and, you know, kind of social media outlet kind of individuals?
Definitely. Definitely more towards just when I think about this set of lyrics, I'm thinking about everyday guys like you and me, not the news media or anything like that.
Gotcha.
Yeah.
What do you want to see people do? Or what do you think people are expecting of you to do?
When I wrote this, the expectation was to you know, who's gonna how can I say this like lightly, or like, you know, take out the problem. Who's gonna fix the problem? Who's going to do the thing that we all need to know, that we all know needs to get done? Like, who's gonna step up to the plate? You're looking at me, I'm looking at you.
So you're just kind of talking about overall like confusion of like not even knowing who's in charge even. Like we can even see like, oh, this person's the president, this person's the vice president, this person does this, but it's like, who the fuck is doing what?
Yeah.
I don't think there's ever been more of a time in my life where I was so confused on who's doing what to believe, where to go.
Yeah.
Who's
and
telling
it's only
the
gotten
truth.
worse since this song is, you know, I wrote this song a couple months ago, and with everything this past week, two weeks, it's like, what is happening? Like,
we are in a matrix.
Probably. You're probably right, honestly.
You know what's so funny? Like, I'm so confused these days that like the more that I watch conspiracy videos, like those things to me make they make so much more sense than watching the news.
But they do make more sense. That's the fucked up part. You're right.
I'm like, I was never one to be a conspiracy theorist ever.
No.
But these last last year or two, I'm just like, I think there's something else going on here. None of this is fucking making sense to me.
Yeah, dude, when I realized, I was like, this was a couple months ago, I saw a TikTok where I was like agreeing with Tucker Carlson. I had to text my buddy. I was like, sanity check me real quick. Like,
you're right.
Shit?
No, you're right. You're right. I actually was listening to Tucker the other day, and I'm just like, man, like some of the stuff he's saying, like, I'm just like, yeah, I agree with you.
Yeah, wild.
Wild times. There won't be anything left here. That much I'm sure. I've seen their panicked faces, but I've got the remedy. Now listen, we haven't listened to what the remedy is yet, so I'm excited to hear what that's going to be. But there won't be anything left here. This planet, something's coming in that 3-eye atlas. Something's on that thing floating in the space. It's floating around. People are panicking. Yeah. That chunk right there, I'm going to say, is about 3-eye atlas. What are you talking about? There won't be anything left.
Yeah, we're just gonna blow all each other to smithereens, you know. And people are freaked out.
Yeah,
you know?
No, I mean, yeah. I mean, I'm looking at news of Iran and of Minneapolis and these lines. There won't be anything left here.
But guess what, brother? I've got the remedy.
Let's dive back into this. All right, let's stop there. I feel like at the end of every verse, there's like, you just lead it into the next one.
Yeah.
And you're just like, I've got the remedy, listen, and then it goes to somewhere else. Well, I think we already know, ... And then you go into the next thing, and it's like, I'm like, I wanna stop it, but then like I don't, because I just want to hear what's coming up next.
Yeah.
But the remedy here, devoid yourself of all that makes you real.
Yeah.
Step to the rhythm of the tyrant's heel. Left, right, left, all together now. We're at the gates of hell. Well, well, well. It's heavy. Devoid yourself of all that makes you real. Your feelings, your sights, your sounds, your touch, your senses. You don't believe any of it anymore.
Lose it all. You gotta lose
it all. And left, right, left, that is a military term, so you're kind of mocking it in a way. All together now, it's like everyone's doing it. Or it could be like a protest kind of thing where people are marching together. Hey, we're all together now. If we're, don't point at me, I won't point at you. Let's all just do this together. They can almost, go there. We're at the gates of hell. I mean, with all the flames that you see on the news, I mean, it's kind of hard to think anything differently.
Right. No, you're right. You're right, though. There's this like sarcastic, mocking tone to the whole thing.
Yeah.
So, phrases like, well, 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 like, and like the left, right, left, you're goose stepping, but where are you headed to? Well, we're literally at the gates of hell. So enjoy.
Yeah.
Enjoy what you set up for yourself.
Something that you say in here that's literal, and, well, I mean, that kind of gives me a literal meaning is left, right, left. All together now, where you got the left side.
Holy shit, you're right.
You got the Democrats, you got the Republicans, you got the left and the right, and we're all so fucking pissed now. So no matter, fuck the sides, whether you're on the left, whether you're on the right. Let's figure out what human thing needs to happen here. Let's all come together. Fuck the labels, fuck the flags, fuck everything. We're all human, and unless we all come together, it's not like nothing's ever going to happen.
Yeah, dude, I love that I did not like put that together at all, but you could definitely assign that meaning. I love that.
Yeah. I feel like the two sides are in a place of merging somewhat at the moment. I think a lot of people are just really pissed off together.
I hope so, man. I hope so. I really do.
I know the right has been very disappointed in the way that things have gone in this country since the election, and I think a lot of people are turning the opposite way. I think we're kind of more. I think we're kind of more together than a lot of people think.
I think there's truth in that, and I'm guilty of getting overwhelmed just like anybody else. But at the end of the day, I think why that particular media is being pushed so hard right now is to make us feel like we're outnumbered and to feel like maybe we're not banding together, when in reality, like you said, I think people on both sides are fed up.
Yeah.
So that's my hope, at least.
To me, now this is just my conspiracy theorist wild mind going these days, but to me it just seems like they're all just distractions of something deeper and bigger.
Yeah. I think you're right, man. And I don't think it's a conspiracy. I think there's bigger shit than we have any idea going on about. That's a whole other podcast.
Yeah.
I'm with you on that one.
It's tough. Lord. Now you're getting biblical on me. Lord. What will they say? Well, I think we already know. One thing I wanted to say, dude, your scream is awesome.
Thanks, dude. Thank you so much.
I feel like there's so many like vocalists who scream, and I hate to be this person, but like I think a lot of screams kind of sound similar.
Sure.
And so when someone kind of has a unique scream, there's a little like rasp in the voice, and it's like you can just kind of feel the aggression instead of just someone yelling. Like this is someone yelling, but they're mad about something. Like I don't know. To me, like certain screams sound more purposeful than others.
Yeah.
And yours is one of them.
Hell yeah! Thank you.
So I like that. Lord, what will they say? Well, I think we already know. It was an accident. Kind of like that takes me back to the COVID days. It was an accident. It wasn't supposed to come over here.
Right.
I swear I didn't know it would end like this. No one thought it was going to end with masks and shots and separating for a year. It was a self-inflicted accident. I'm going to relate this part to COVID really quick. A self-inflicted accident. It was just like we were all terrified to leave somewhere because like we don't want to get somebody sick. And so if you got someone sick, that was your fault, and that was a self-inflicted thing. So now you have it because you had to go out, you had to do it without a mask, and now you also inflicted it on someone else. Non-apologetic and staring down the barrel of an accident, kind of same thing. It's the person who was just like, fuck it, like I don't care about anybody else. Like I wanted to do something, so I did it. Now I'm gonna say it was an accident. Okay, I might have known about ulterior motives and chaos of the accident. Same fucking thing. I knew this was gonna cause some type of problem, but I did it anyway. And if it comes for me, I'll be ready with my sob story. It's fuck. Yeah, it's a total kind of narcissistic view of things. It was an accident.
Oh yeah.
You know?
Oh right.
And it was an accident, and like this, and it's like a not even taking accountability. It was like a non-apologetic.
It is.
I know about there's ulterior motives there. That's someone very manipulative.
I mean, this is 100% based on MAGA and the president. They knew what they were getting, and if it comes for them, they're going to pretend that oh, I didn't know.
I see what you're saying.
It's passing the buck, like you said. Zero accountability.
Mm-hmm.
It's just bullshit. It's bullshit, and it sounds as pathetic as this next part reads. They rely they're all for it until you call them on it. It's like, well, I didn't know. It's like, you fucking knew. You knew exactly what you were doing. Like, don't play. Like, we're all smarter than that.
Let's keep listening.
Hell yeah.
I've never been for this because you are. I never claimed to be insane. If I could find a better way to be a son, then I could. Fire, blame me. I'm just a child full of fear. Disappointed. Father, save me. I'll be right back to be a saint and a brother.
Dude, this song is fucking nuts, man.
Thanks, man.
Like, I'm just feeling like I feel it going everywhere. And like, I love how there's not really a structure, like in a sense where it's like there's a course where you go back to repeating something. I feel like
I'm terrible at writing that way. Terrible.
Yeah. Well, it's unique, and it makes it fun because then you don't know what's kind of coming next. A lot of us expect a chorus to come in like a repeating part, and maybe it's the first thing you hear that comes back. And maybe there is something like that in here, but the first 2 minutes is like something new every line.
Yeah,
it definitely sounded like you had something you wanted to say.
Oh, for sure. And I've always written that way, dude. For some reason, like, for me personally, I just can't. At this point, it's not even I can't write like verse chorus, verse chorus. Which is funny because I'm in another band, like an alt rock band where I play drums, that we do. It's very much verse chorus, but I love that. Yeah. But for me personally, it's tough. I don't know why I don't do it, but
it's your own style, man. There's no right or wrong way of doing any of this.
That's right. So if you love a hook, sorry, that's not me.
I never meant for this to cause you harm. I never claimed to be a saint or a savior.
Yeah.
If I could find a better way to be a son, then I can ask for forgiveness. Father, oh Father, oh Father, oh Father, blame me. I'm just a child full of fear of disappointing. Father, oh Father, shame me. I'll be right back. Save me a seat and a prayer. Save it for another time. Save it for a ...
Yeah, just more of like. Go ahead. I actually want to hear you speak first.
I was gonna ask. So this, so now there's multiple references to Father and prayer and Savior. Would you consider yourself like a Christian kind of
No.
artist or anything like that? No,
Not at all.
Does religion play or just like spirituality play a big role in your music, or did it just feel fitting for this song?
Not at all.
Okay.
Furthest thing from it, I just think it is.
Furthest thing from it.
Yeah, I think it's a pathetic
Okay.
crutch that MAGA relies upon. That was
So
was kind of the driving
It's like
factor
in the
there.
perspective of somebody who has those ideologies. Gotcha.
So this
gotcha.
flips the voice. Yeah.
Gotcha.
So I
Oh,
go-
okay.
Yep,
Okay.
Yep. So that's their sort of bullshit spiel. If this all comes back around, they're like, "Well, I never meant any harm. I never said I was." It's just all bullshit. It's the bullshit spiel. And what's funny is the entire song is written around this part with me and the chapel fire. So I wrote this part first, sort of off the cuff, and then had to build the rest of the song around it. So that in and of itself was kind of an interesting experience. But yeah, it's a whole other rabbit hole.
It's interesting, like even tying into your name, funeral language. Because to me, not just me, but when I hear funeral, I think of church, because a lot of funerals are held in church. I think of like the prayers at a church and a funeral, the flowers, the cross. I think very religiously sometimes when
Sure.
it comes to funerals, and I'm I'm not sure where I land religious wise. Like I've gone back and forth with different things, but I do think, I'm very spiritual and I'm very open to a lot of different interpretations and different things like that.
Sure.
So I think from an outsider perspective, if I were to read these lyrics and didn't know there was a flip, I would have thought that this song was probably inspired by something biblical or religious. But in a way though, it could work, and it's like, it's not even like, for example, I never meant to cause you harm. I never claimed to be a saint. If I can go, find a way to be a better son, then I can ask for forgiveness. I think no matter what side you're on, if we're doing things in our life that we're not proud of or that we don't like, a lot of us can just feel this way on a daily basis about things.
Sure.
Father, blame me. We put a lot of blame on ourselves when we're going through depression or anger or whatever. And,
Yeah.
Sorry I let you down, because, if you are in that part of that religion culture, you like to pray and go to church and try to be, a good person and all that. And if you're not, you feel like you're a disappointment to not even just yourself, but to whatever you worship. And,
Right.
I'll be right back. Save me a seat and a prayer. It almost seems like I know that I'm going through something right now, but I'm going to come back to you. Just let me get this anger out really quick, but then I'm going to come right back and kind of try to be me again. Try to find something that's worth saving.
Yeah.
So that's
I get that
that's
for
a
sure.
completely different way of looking at that whole section there.
Which is sick because I never would have assigned it that. But that's what I love about this is like everyone can take something completely different from it.
And that's why I didn't get the flip, because I thought that it was more in the direction that I was talking about. How it was like, okay, especially when I was going off the left and right, like I never meant, just because I'm on this side or whatever, to cause harm. I never claimed to be a saint, because no one's perfect, no matter what side you're on. And so I think that this is a great way of just being like, it's almost like a self-reflection, like for life. Like, I just say you did something wrong in your life and you listen to this, it's almost motivational.
Damn, dude, I love that. Which is like the complete opposite of
Which
how
is
I
the
wrote
complete
it.
opposite of
Which is
how
funny.
you wrote it. Yeah.
That's crazy. But I do it. No, like, hell yeah, man.
Huh.
Can we do the whole record now?
and that's kind of why I asked you about the sober and the music connection, because sometimes a lot of the music and lyrics can kind of relate to something that people have been pulled out of. So I never meant for this to cause you harm. I never claimed to be a saint or a savior. If I could find a better way and I could ask for forgiveness, I've definitely dealt with drinking problems and alcohol, and a lot of times I caused harm when I was in that state.
Oh yeah.
And I've, mornings that I've woken up, I have felt very disappointed in myself. And I'll be back. Save me a seat. Save me a seat. I have to go through this journey of getting back sober, and because I know what I'm doing is wrong. Just be patient with me. I'll be right back. Let me just get over this addiction really quick.
Yeah. Damn, dude. Now I feel like mine's like the actual reason for the lyrics isn't as cool as that. But
no, like if you would have said that some of these lyrics were inspired by even like some deeper things, like you getting sober and alcoholism and stuff like that, I would have been like, man, the way you tied this in, because it totally could go either way.
Yeah.
Depending on what way you look at it, like non-apologetic and staring down the barrel. It could just be staring down the bottle. A self-inflicted accident. I shouldn't have had that drink. I swear I didn't know that it would end like this. Fuck. I mean, for me, there was a day where I wanted to end it all, and I was drinking a fuck ton, and it was purposely. And so it's like I never thought that I would come to this.
Yeah. It's funny you say that. There is a song on the record that is about exactly what we're talking about right now. It's the second track called Death Wish Complex. It's all about struggling with alcoholism. And it goes back and forth between like, this is a horrible thing, and this, because when you're, after you get a couple drinks and you're like, this is the best thing ever.
Yeah.
So it kind of plays devil's advocate a little bit. It kind of tells the truth a little bit.
Give me one more shot. I'll feel a little bit better.
Yeah.
Give me one more. I'll take one more. This feels so good. Give me one more. And by the time you know it, you're fucking passed out.
Right. Yeah, that one actually, so that one does have a hook. And the very first lines are, let us sin. And so it's like, let's fucking go. Let's do this. Then by the end,
sitting with you.
And then
another religion aspect.
All right. So, okay.
Interesting.
So I am the son of a pastor, but I'm not religious.
I knew there was something. I knew that there was something.
There's like some subconscious.
Yeah, there definitely is, man. There definitely is.
Damn. I'm gonna.
And a death wish, and your name's funeral language. Death wish.
I
think you do a lot of things like, kind of just subconsciously.
And I think you're right. And what I realized about this record, there's a lot of death, dying. There's a song called Dead Meat. There's another song that Death Wish Complex, obviously.
Anger too.
I'm looking at it and I'm like, where did all this like death come from?
Yeah. I mean, death's even in your name.
Right. It's all over the place.
It's all over the place.
And then
why do you think that is? What's your thing with death?
Oh man. That's like genuinely a really good question, because I'm not sure, but it's becoming very obvious to me, like upon that realization of all the death on this record and you and I's conversation now, there's something happening here.
There is. Right? There is. You talk about sin and saviors and Father. Yeah, no, it was not at all. No. And that's why, like, I took it, because, like, when you said that you're sober, I'm like, okay, there's gotta. I even wrote it down. I'm like, I wrote it down and circled it. Sober. I'm like, there's going to be some connection there. And then there's like this biblical talk and sin and Savior and Father and prayers, and I'm just like, man, what is that combines all that together?
I'm going to text my therapist after this and ask him if I can come back. Like, dude, we got to chat, brother.
I don't know, man. I feel like there's something very deep here with you.
Yeah.
And if you can pull that from even, I mean, who knows, this can go as far back as like childhood, like losing somebody or even losing something and just feeling like disconnected and vulnerable and seeking help, because this song seems like almost a cry for help too.
Damn.
I'm just a child full of fear of disappointing. That's it. I mean, you're calling out, man. It's calling out for help.
Yeah.
I'll be right back. Save me a seat and a prayer. That line gets me. It really does, because it just puts you in this place of, I know that I'm not doing the right thing, but I know the choices that I have to make to get better. I'm not there yet, but save me a seat, because I will be.
But can you see how that relates to like what I actually wrote it about as well? Or did I completely miss the mark? You know, they've I don't know your politics obviously, but you know, they've done this thing to our country. They've aided in doing all these horrific things based on this one man's or his administration.
I don't think people with that kind of intent would say these things, even if it was trying to fool others.
Yeah.
Like I think, because like I was going like one of the things that I had said earlier was like, oh, this is a total like narcissistic way of looking. And maybe someone of that mindset would just go, I'm just a child full of fear of disappointment, shame me. I mean, I can see it, but that's not at all where my mind goes.
Yeah. It actually came, I was inspired by like actual events, a relationship in my wife's life, and the person was just heavily relying on this crutch of like, well, I'm just trying to be a good Christian, and I'm sorry if I haven't been. I'm trying my best, and it was just complete bullshit. And so that's where that came.
Okay, I can see that. I can definitely see that.
But speaking that to my wife, while on the other side of her mouth saying the most horrific things about minorities, and so it's like, you're just full of shit. It's okay. You're just full of shit. You're not a Christian. Like, let's just move on.
Do you think, I'm going to talk it out. It might not make sense when I first say it, but I'm trying. I think you'll kind of know where I'm trying to
run
get
with
to.
it, brother.
So you're saying that this person has these feelings. They say one thing about religion, and then they kind of go against their beliefs and kind of what everything they were just saying. It almost seemed like a hypocrite.
And we're seeing that all over the place. The hypocrisy is unbelievable.
Right. But do you think that it's a problem with religion, or do you think it's an individual person problem, the one who's using it as a crutch, as you say? Do you think it's fair to put like a category on certain groups? Or do you do you think it's an individual thing or kind of a religion thing, and using it only when they want to?
I think it's a little bit of both. I think it leans individual. And I mean, I grew up in the Lutheran church, and you know, and I've obviously lived with a pastor for a father, so I've seen a lot of like the back end of things. So I've seen a lot of good things that the Christian church does. Of course, you know, I've seen people who speak and live the gospel, and that is a beautiful thing. But you have all these people now who are these red hat Christians, and they're just full of shit, and they hide behind it, and they cherry pick Bible verses, the parts that suit, you know, their agenda or what have you, but they don't live the gospel. They're just full of shit, and they're pretty easy to pick out nowadays. So I'm not comfortable making a blanket statement saying religion is the problem, Christianity is the problem, because it's not. Because I've seen the beauty in it. And there is beauty in it.
Okay.
The teachings of Christ are great teachings about morals and ethics and being a decent human being and loving your neighbor. That's all wonderful stuff. And to see it in action in a church, in people who live it and breathe it, is a beautiful thing. But as we're seeing right now, you know, I put a Bible verse in my, you know, profile and I'm spewing vitriol all over the internet. Like, not really living up to your your Christian, your self-proclaimed Christianity.
Gotcha. Interesting point of view. Yeah, because religion has definitely come up on the show a couple times, and I think a lot of people subconsciously write about religion.
Sure.
And it's always a good question to ask why. Because I often get the same thing where I'm like, hey, you said this, and you said this, and you said this. But to me, this all seems very biblical. Like, why did you go this route? And a lot of people are like, I don't know. I don't know. It's just kind of a subconscious thing that I did.
It's funny because I love this because I wrote this thing, but now you're like putting it right in front of my face and I have to answer to it. Like I'm responsible for writing this. No, I love it, dude. And it's really making me think about the things I wrote down subconsciously. Like, that thing's got me like spiraling out. Things come out and maybe I haven't realized what's actually on paper. Like, what did I actually say? It's because it's one thing when you know your song in and out and you listen to it, you're like, yep, I know exactly where I was coming from. But someone who does not know how your brain works and what your thoughts are can take this meaning as something completely different. So the wording, the lyrics are very important. But for a lot of reasons, for you, number one. Damn.
No, but for you, number one, because it's your music, it's your art, and you need to get out the way you do. But lyrics are something that people digest,
for sure,
and really study.
And I think as someone who doesn't do that, I've never been that way. I hear lyrics more like percussively almost. I don't really care what they're saying.
Yeah, see, I've never been like that. If I can't relate to what the lyrics are, I don't want to listen to it.
See, I love that. We're like completely opposite. And you're bringing so many great points to the table that I never would have thought about. But yeah, I've never been one to sit down with the booklet and like read the words. And I just,
dude, that was my favorite part. That, like, when I was growing up, dude, whenever I would buy a CD, I was ripping the packages open and I'm like, I'm going to press play and sit with this booklet and read the lyrics and try to figure out, why did you write this song?
Damn.
Like, out of these 12, out of all the things you can write about, why did you, like, I want to understand why this song and why these lyrics. Can you explain that to me? I guess my mind has always just been very, like, curious on that end, and that was always my favorite part.
I wish I had more. I wish I had more of that. But maybe I will now.
But I'm kind of annoying in person because I'm always just asking why about everything.
Are you married? It's a wedding ring.
It's fun for a podcast, but it can drive people. It drives me nuts, and I'm always asking questions. I watch the news. Why did this happen? And then I go to conspiracy theories. I'm like, oh well, that fucking makes sense. All right, well, we still have another minute and 12 seconds left, so I'd say let's ride the song out, and we'll read the rest of the lyrics.
Oh, yeah.
And take it from there. Well, shit. That was Rain Check by Funeral Language. Dude, those fucking riffs, man. I couldn't help but just start like air guitaring. I was like, I'm just like, this is
I love it.
fun, dude. It's fun.
Yeah.
And I love how there's always a constant dun 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 dun. Like it just keeps going.
Yeah.
Like I can imagine like myself like running up a hill, like sprinting up a hill, like using it for motivation to get the fuck up there. There are some songs, actually, now that I think about it, there are some songs on my running playlist that have nothing to do with the lyrics, but the music just hypes me up and it gets me
yeah.
run faster or whatever.
That ending part is like one of my favorite moments on the record when it goes to like that like dance beat with the
Yeah, that was fun, dude.
Like, let's fucking
It was a fun song to listen to.
hell yeah.
It was all over the place, but in the best way.
It really is.
All right, save it for another time. Save it for another time, another life. Save it for a later date. Rain check, baby, gonna cash in at the worst time. Let me sit with that one for a sec. All right, rain check on a conscience. Baby, I need what I need, what I need, what I need. Rain check, average kindness. Always mean, always mean. Rain check on a suspect. Baby, it's me. Oh, it's me. Oh, it's me.
Oh, it's me.
Rain check on a rain check. Woe is me. God damn. I was just having a conversation with my wife recently, and she was telling me she loves when people scream, oh my God, in songs.
Oh, yeah.
But this one, I mean, it's right up there. Just, God damn. I mean, there's just certain phrases when you hear people scream it. You're able to get it out. Okay, all right, hold on. Let me rain check. Rain check, baby, gonna cash in at the worst time. Let me try to wrap that around everything I've been saying so far. So when you cash in a rain check, you're ready for something. You're ready for an exchange. You're ready to get, or you want to push something back. I'm going to cash it in. It's almost like when you are at your worst, I'm coming back. It's like relating it back to alcoholism. Rain check, baby, gonna cash it in at the worst time. It's like, I'm gonna have all these great days. I'm gonna have a great week, a great month, but something's gonna set me off. And I'm gonna start to crave it out of nowhere. And I'm not saying you, I'm just talking about like a situation where it's like, fuck. And it usually happens when we're feeling stressed or there's tension or we have anxiety about something. So there's something coming that gives us that feeling, that anxiety. So it's like, now that this is here, I'm going to cash this in because it's the worst time possible for you to get drunk and wasted right now. So this is the perfect time perfect time for your mind to trick you or for you to fall back into this. It's the worst fucking time. And so, I mean, it kind of goes down on, because like your mindset's all fucked up. Average kindness, rain check. Yeah, because for me, I become mean, and on a suspect, woe is me. Like, I feel like people are just fucking tired of hearing me talk about my shit all the time. And I'm like, I gotta stop talking about this one thing to the same person because it just becomes a pattern, and it's like, it sounds like all I'm doing is venting about myself and just wanting people to feel sorry for me, but it's ultimately me who needs to make this decision and kind of man up and get out of this. You can give this, sob story all you want and blame others, but it's really on you to make that first step and to kind of walk away from an addiction. For sure. But I know that's not at all what you're talking about. So explain this to me. Explain this last part.
Oh, I mean, so a rain check, right, is something that you cash it in later. You're pushing something off. So this whole song is kind of this idea of, deferring decency and deferring accountability. And so what's funny is, so this whole last part was a stream of conscious. I didn't have lyrics. I just sat down and started yelling. And so rain check on the conscious, right? I'm postponing these feelings. If I have any feelings of guilt, whatever, I'm we'll deal with it later. I'm not going to feel that right now. This next line I think is kind of funny, but it works. I just like because of like the pun, I guess. Rain check average kindness, always mean, because like the average of something is the mean. So, but again, you're postponing being good. You're postponing being kind to your neighbor. Rain check on a suspect. We're postponing judgment. And you know, baby, it's me. Oh, it's me. Oh, it's me. Oh, it's me. Is like me taking. Like, you're not gonna fucking feel it, but I'm feeling what everyone's feeling. Like, I'm feeling it. Like, you've pushed it off to a point where it's like I feel like I'm feeling how you're feeling. If that makes any sense.
Yeah.
And then rain check on a rain check. It's like we're just pushing.
Yeah.
We're pushing it off completely. Like,
Yeah.
oh, this just no, we're done. And then it's just like the whole woe is me thing that ties back again to like the sob story of, you know, whoever. And then just goddamn, it was just all that.
A moment
all
of
that.
just fucking
And then
frustration.
Just,
Yeah.
yeah, just goddamn. Like sometimes you just need to yell goddamn.
Yeah, you do. So you just said a word, and I had wrote this and circled it earlier. And what I like to do is have one word that I think represents the track, and it's not in, and the word isn't in the track.
Okay.
And I wrote it down. Oh, I don't know if you can see it. Accountability.
It's one to blur. Yeah.
Accountability. That's what I take from this song. And
From top to bottom, from the
Yeah.
from the very first lines of saying you're expecting it from me, I'm expecting it from you, and all the way to the end, you're dead on.
I get accountability from this entire thing, and then I can also see it in other ways, like the way that I was relating it to someone recently becoming sober and the struggles of maintaining that. You know, it's on us to make the change. Like, no one's going to do it for us. You can't fix someone who doesn't want the help. Like, you know, like you have to want to fix yourself, and you have to want. You have to take accountability for the things you do.
Yep.
And I feel like there's just a lot of blame going around for somebody else. Everybody just wants to put it on something or someone else.
Yep. But not me.
Instead of internal.
Absolutely not me. You know, there's just so much like hate, and I'm like, how much of this is stemming from your own like fear of fill in the blank? These people are operating out of a place of blaming others and just fear of everything, and it's just zero accountability.
Do you have a fear of death?
Not really, but that's a great question. I have a fear of dying before I have young kids, so I do think about it sometimes. Like, if something were to happen to me and my young kids grow up without a dad, but it doesn't consume me. Like, I know some folks are like scared of death, and that would make a lot of sense based on what's going on this record. But like, if I'm being completely honest and like super vulnerable, I wouldn't be shocked if it was just like your classic. My mom split when I was 12, and I'm the youngest of 4, and I was, for all intents and purposes, a mama's boy, and she was out, and we had a great relationship, and then all of a sudden it was nothing. So if I had to guess, that is coming through subconsciously.
Interesting. I mean, so there, and I had said something earlier about it doesn't have to be about an addiction. It's just the loss of something.
Yeah.
Like, it doesn't even, like, it could be even your favorite toy that like you grew up with forever, and then you lost it and just felt empty without it, or whatever. Sure. Like, there could just the loss of something, or just the fear of losing something, and how that affects you. I mean, I remember when my grandma passed when I was 18, how that changed the way I viewed everything. She was she was my favorite person in the world, and when she left, my world crumbled. I spiraled really bad. Those things never really leave you. Like, they get a little bit easier to handle and cope with as you get older, but they always stay with you. And I find myself just even to this day doing things in honor of my grandmother, and it was like 16 years ago now. And I mean, Yeah. Have you ever thought about that? About how your childhood and your relationship with your mother plays a role into your music? Have you ever thought about that before?
Oh yeah. I mean,
Oh, okay.
it's definitely been like, that's kind of the root of all, alcoholism, whatever. Just avoidance. It's the root of, I'd say, all my problems. But I think now, when I'm really thinking about it now, is, I handled it a lot through therapy when I got sober in 2019. Really, I went through the 12 steps, did that with a great sponsor, did it a couple of times, did, therapy with a licensed therapist. So kind of attacking it at all angles and, really got to the bottom of a lot of things. But I think now it's kind of coming back to me because it's like I've bought a house, I've had young kids, like I'm thinking about myself in like her shoes. Like I couldn't leave these kids. Like I could never, I can't even fathom, I have an 8-month-old and a 3-year-old downstairs. It's like, so I think it's kind of rearing its head again in the position of me being a dad. So maybe that's like bleeding through here on the record. I don't know. It's I need to think about it a little bit. Just kind of talking off the cuff, but
so maybe I'm not understanding 100% correct in one of the things you said, but when you had talked about like a home and a kid, you had said, "Oh, if I put myself in her shoes, or if I thought about it in her way." What did you say again when you were talking about that and like what your mom was saying?
She had she had four kids and then just pieced out and didn't really keep in contact and did a really shitty job of it. And I try to think if I could do that, like right now, could I pack up?
Oh, I see what you're saying.
And just leave them and not check in and not give a shit when they, they grow up and not, and not like if my kid were to buy a house, I would be there I would be there immediately and I'd want to see it, right?
Mm-hmm.
Or if one of my children had a child, I would be in the hospital that day to meet the baby. Like those things didn't happen. She didn't do that for me. So I'm trying to think of like if I'm humanly capable of that, and I would have to be fucking dead inside for me to not go see my grandbaby or my kid's house or whatever it may be. So those sort of things are kind of creeping up in my mind lately. So
yeah, I mean it makes sense.
Yeah, it's tough, man. Relationships are weird.
Yeah. And it's interesting the routes we take when we get it out too, because your perspective on this coming back up is, I can never do that. How could this person do that? Mm-hmm. But it's interesting how you go more that route than, I wish she was here to see this, or I wish that never. I mean, I'm sure you've been here, of course, but I'm saying like in this moment, like instead of saying like I wish she would have been here, I wish she could have met this person, I wish she could have done that, it went straight to a place of anger.
Damn, dude, you're right, it did. I almost like don't.
Yeah,
I was like, I almost feel like you don't deserve to know.
Yeah,
kids,
like it's like and like it doesn't even sound like it's coming from a place of hurt anymore. It's almost seems like you've accepted it and now you're just angry still about it.
Yeah, that's pretty fair. Yeah.
And this song sounds very angry, and I said that a while ago.
We'll just wait till you hear the rest of the record.
No, man. I mean, it's really interesting, and that's why I do these breakdowns, is because it's really interesting to hear people's mindsets. And I do live reactions because I like to react to the way people react to my thoughts and kind of try to dig deeper there. Yeah. So, no, thank you for sharing all that, and I hope nothing I said was pushing it too far or
no such
anything
thing, man.
like
no
that.
Such thing. We're all that's another thing. It's like we're all in this fucking thing together. I'm a firm believer. I'm an open book. So sitting here talking about, was I planning on talking about my mommy issues with a stranger today? No, I wasn't. But we ended up there, and it's a thing, and you know, and we're anything that could possibly help anybody else that I've been through. I'm game, dude. I'm game to talk about whatever. So you're good, man.
Do you feel Okay, so here's my next question. So we are having this interview on January 13th. Is this track available to the public yet? Have you put this out?
No, this will come out January 20th.
Okay, so by the time this episode comes out, it will already be out, so people can go listen to this and the rest of your album. So that's a good question then. So, that brings up a good question. How do you feel about releasing this music? You know, with as much anger and emotion goes into some of these lyrics, how are you feeling about putting it out to the public and then people doing what I'm doing, you know, looking at your lyrics and like, okay, what is Funeral Language about? Where do they, let me try to learn more about them. Like just how are you feeling about putting this new music out?
I've never once thought about it. This sounds crazy. I've never thought about someone sitting down and like analyzing the lyrics and trying to figure out like who I am as a dude.
Yeah.
Or this guy making.
Yeah, I've weirdly always been fascinated with that.
Yeah, I mean, well, it's a great question because I have chosen to put these things out and to say these exact things. I chose, like, that was my choice, and I'm putting it out for everyone and anyone to listen to digest, to interpret about who I am as a person. And some of these lyrics are deeply, deeply personal.
Yeah. Yeah, they are.
And I think that's important because,
yeah,
like,
I agree.
You know, I hope people connect with it. You know, there's songs about, like I said, alcoholism or bad relationships, or you know, even a career. You know, a career that you know is destroying you from the inside. You're like, I don't want to do this job anymore, but I'm self-inflicting it because I'm showing up to work every day. Like I know there's a problem and I'm not doing anything about it. Right. So we'll see, man. We'll see what my DMs look like after I put it out.
So how are you feeling then? So how are you just feeling about the release in general then?
I'm unbelievably excited. When I started putting riffs out on TikTok and Reels and everything, and people started to really like mess with what I was doing, and I put these collection of songs together, and it's a short record. It's 8 songs, 22 minutes, but it's like once it starts, it doesn't stop. It doesn't let up. It just goes. It's just riff after riff after riff. And I'm
stoked to hear the rest.
I'll send it to you after this.
Hell yeah.
And yeah, I think on the surface, and I didn't think about this either, on the surface it can just sound like, yeah, I sound pretty angry. My scream is pretty angry sounding, but I don't know if you'll really pick up like the depth of it until you read the lyrics.
Well, so I'm gonna kindly disagree with that.
Okay.
Because before I even knew really what the song was about, I think one of the first things I told you is like, I can just hear it in your voice.
Yeah.
I can hear it. I'm like, your scream is one of those screams where, you know, sometimes people can scream and they're doing it just to scream, but sometimes there's just layers underneath that scream.
Yeah.
And those are the screams that stand out to me.
There are screams on this record, and I left them in on purpose, where I'm screaming so fucking hard that I'm like almost throwing up. If you listen to the end, there's a breakdown in Thank You for the Dead Body, and that song is very personal. That song is about me. And the very last line, I'm screaming, I am not who I want or appear to be. And you can hear one of the backing screams. You can hear me like yelling so hard, and then I'm like, you know, I'm like, the sound I would make before like throwing up almost.
Why did you want to scream so hard?
Because I needed to.
That's what I'm saying. I can feel that in your scream.
Because
no matter what you're saying, I feel it.
Yeah, and that line in particular, there was another one off the cuff. I'm like, I have this song that starts real happy-go-lucky, sound like sonically, and then shifts into this like dark, sort of brooding breakdown, and I'm just like, and I just picked up the mic and just started screaming, I am not who I want or appear to be. So I was really struggling with like imposter syndrome and who I think I am versus how I'm perceived. I struggle with a lot, And man, yeah,
You struggle with how you're perceived. You said
I cannot shake. And I've gotten better as I've gotten older. Like at this point in my life, I really don't care too much about what people think about me. But sometimes I do. Sometimes I let it like eat me up a little bit.
Sure. It's normal.
Yeah. I'm super comfortable with my skin. I haven't always been able to say that, but sometimes I just get in my head about stuff. And so when I was yelling that, I'm like, I feel this in my fucking core.
Yeah.
And I'm gonna yell it as hard as I can.
Yeah.
And you just got to, man. And then, I mean, I have no technique. My technique is just be loud.
And that's what I'm saying. So like, you're not screaming to have a good scream. You're screaming out of getting that emotion out.
100%.
And to me, it's obvious.
Hell yeah.
It was obvious from the first verse. That was pretty obvious to me.
Okay.
So besides your music, besides when you are in your studio, coming up with these crazy ass riffs and screaming your head off, what role does music on your just a daily life for you play in your mental health? We all have our songs that we listen to when we're sad or mad, but for a lot of us, music is a daily thing, and we kind of revolve our days around our music. And when I'm happy, I listen to this. If it's a bad day, I'm listening to this. Just in general, like how does music and your mental health relate to each other?
It has changed a lot in the last few years. I used to be someone who had music on all the time, and now I don't. I prefer silence. If I'm driving, more often than not, it's in silence. If I'm sitting here working on something, it's in silence. Really, the only time I'm listening to music is if I'm cooking or doing the dishes, and even then, it's pretty fun. I mean, there's just so much going on between the young kids, and I'm constantly either loud guitars or screaming or something. It's nice to have a just silence. And I say that to people, and they almost can't even comprehend it. Like I have to do a drive to West Virginia every once in a while, and it's about 8 hours.
I was going to say that's kind of a distance for you.
Yeah, and I'll do the whole thing in just dead ass silence. I get to get in my mind. I get to think, oh yeah, I love it, dude. I love it.
Whenever I think about a long drive, the first thing I think about is who's going to be on my playlist to get me through those 8 hours.
and I used to be like that. And I'd look forward to it because I could binge like all of Every Time I Die's discography, or all of Norma Jean's discography. For real. And now it's just like, I just want to hear the road and the wind and shit. Yeah,
it's very meditative.
Oh, it is. It is.
It's that moment,
and I need it.
Disconnect and be one with the literal road.
Yeah. Oh, yeah. And so, yeah, if the most music I listen to right now is probably because of my 3-year-old. He's very into music. He loves 4 Year Strong. So
I just saw them about a year or so ago. They opened up for a Day to Remember.
Oh yeah, yep, I remember that. Right. They're so good, man. So
Day
good.
Remembers. Well, one of my top 3 favorite bands of all time.
Still?
Oh yeah.
Okay, all right.
Oh yeah.
I'm glad.
Actually, that album that just came out last year, I think, is one of their best they've put out in a long time.
I can't say anything because I need to listen to it, and I know I did like one of the singles that everyone shit on, and I was like, all right, this is a bop. Like,
yeah, I know what you're talking. Feedback.
I'll give it a fair shake. I think it was, yeah.
If I want to hear your feedback, I'll let you know. Yeah, it was so funny. They played that song at the show, and I was the only one in my section rocking out and singing along to that song. I'm just like, am I the only one here? Really?
Dude, as I've gotten older, I've let go of all that. I'm like, if it's catchy, it's catchy. I don't give a shit.
Right.
I'll listen to pop music all day,
I don't
dude.
care.
My daughter loves Tate McRae. I'm like, dude, I fuck with Tate McRae.
I don't even know who that is.
I don't care. It's just teeny bopper music, but I'm like, that's a good hook.
Cool.
That's another good hook. And
what a great voice.
Dude, I think that's the other thing that would surprise people too. It's I really don't obviously I listen to E-Tid and Better Lovers and all that shit. But day to day, Like top 2 bands, The Story So Far and Drug Church. Like those are my go-tos. Like flawless discography.
I think The Story So Far was also at that show.
Yep, they were.
Did you go to that one? Story So Far, 4 Years Strong, and 80
No, and it was like right down the road for me. My buddies were at it, but I didn't make it.
Yeah, it was a good one. Okay, well then let me ask you another question then. Let me reframe it. When it comes to you making your music, you know, you have so much going on right now. You know, you have a house, you have kids, you have a wife, you have a job of some sort.
Not
trying to be stay sober, which you're doing a great job at 6 years now. You know, with all the pressures and everything going on, and you know what's going on in the world today, and you know some of that little anger you're holding on to with your mother. What does music do to you on a mental level to help kind of get you through these moments? And I'm talking about your own personal music now. If you didn't have this outlet, you know, kind of just frame it that way. Like how do you use this for an outlet for that?
Yeah, I can feel it in my being when I go for a certain amount of time without creating. And that could take on a couple of different forms. Like I love to cook. I love to make like homemade bread. I'll cook anything under the sun. Or like I planted my first garden last year. So to get out and like do that, like, but my main mode of creation is obviously music. And you know, I get squirrely, dude. I will get just in my own head and I just feel like something's not right if I haven't created in just like a couple of days.
How long have you been feeling that way? Or has that always been a thing since you started doing music?
Oh, man. I've really realized it within like the last... So like this time last year, so it would have been December of 2024, I decided to stop all meds. I'm ADHD as fuck, and I wanted to know what baseline felt like again. So I stopped taking these meds on a couple of different things, and that's when I really noticed that if I'm not creating, I get squirrely, I get uncomfortable, I get I just get stuck in myself. I get in my own way, and I get grumpy, you know. So and maybe that's why
it's almost like music is your medication. So now, since the meds aren't kind of balancing you out or having the effect it did, now you need to get that out some other way.
Yep, 100%. So, and I think like it's sort of, you know, not to sound like Kanye, but you know, the bipolar, ADHD, whatever, it's kind of a blessing and a curse, because it's like I have this thing in me that's always pulling and saying, do something.
Are you bipolar?
I was diagnosed as bipolar 2, but I think that was incorrect. I'm pretty sure it's ADHD.
I am bipolar 2, and I thought I was misdiagnosed, because I was originally diagnosed like 5 years ago, and I'm like, no, I don't have this. But as the years have gone on, I'm like, you know what? Okay, fine, maybe I do.
I think
and I got re-diagnosed as bipolar 2, so. But I kind of understand what you're talking about, though. Like I go through a lot of those feelings.
A lot of the symptoms
I need to do
are very
something.
similar. Yeah.
Yeah.
But it's also a blessing, because then I do have this need to like sit down and write something and do something. So I'll
where
take
before
it.
the medication was kind of
I don't remember
balancing you out in a way where it's like, I don't feel like I need to do this right now.
Yeah,
and so ADHD is something that comes up a lot on this podcast, because I feel like a lot. I mean, if I didn't have like I guess like there's no like true way to figure out like, oh, 100% this is what you have.
Yeah.
But I think a lot of us, the reason why we relate to the art so much is because we just have this itch. A lot of us have ADD. A lot of us do. And it's like, how do we use that urge and those feelings and the emotions that brings up? Because we can take it to a direction where we want to drink ourselves to sleep, or we can play guitar until we fall asleep. And it's like, music is just one of those like great habits, I guess. Not habits. So where I'm looking for outlets.
Yeah.
to control those crazy emotions that we have.
Yeah, agreed.
I get it, man.
And like, who wouldn't love to just scream their absolute head off into a microphone? Like, how is that not therapeutic?
It is.
It's great.
It is. I mean, everything down to the riffs you're writing to just, the lyrics. I mean, everything. There's so much healing in all of it. Especially if you're writing the lyrics down by hand, too.
I should. I type them.
You should.
But
I mean, it's not a bad thing or anything if you do, but
there is something more like visceral about writing them with a pencil or pen for sure.
Yeah. Like even if they're already written like on a computer, like still just the process of writing them down, even if they're already done, just writing them down. So just so you kind of are one with it again in the moment.
For sure. I love that. And like going back to the screaming things, like I'll get a lot of DMs about people like, how do you scream? And I'm like, brother, everyone can yell. Like, what are you talking about? Like, go grab a microphone, a cheap microphone, anything, grab it, just yell.
Yeah.
Like, I don't know what to tell you. Like, you just gotta, we all can do it. Right.
Yeah.
And it's a little weird at first, but man, once you get over the like awkwardness of, this is a quiet space and it's just me and my headphones.
Yeah.
Once you get over that hump of like, this feels weird, it feels really fucking good to get that loud.
And there's just certain things too, when you scream them, it just feels so fucking good.
Oh yeah.
Like,
absolutely.
Like the, God damn.
Yep.
And I love how it like ends on that too. It's almost like a sigh. It's almost like you're taking a breath. You're like, oh god damn, I just said all this and I'm so mad about it.
Yeah. Yeah, and that's what it was, because like I said, that last part was just sort of stream of conscious yelling in the mic.
Yeah.
And I stopped. I took a deep breath and it was just goddamn.
Yeah. So the album comes out January 20th.
Yep.
So I know that is in your future. Besides the album drop, what is 2026 looking like for Funeral Language? You got music videos, you got any shows? Like what else is going on besides the obvious?
2026 is the year that I take this to the goddamn stage, right? So right now as we're talking on the 13th, I'm booking 3 shows in August. Indianapolis, either Chicago or Fort Wayne, haven't drilled it down yet, and then Grand Rapids. So,
okay.
So if you're in those areas, anybody listening to this, please come check it out. I'll spam my Instagram come time, but yeah, these songs they're live songs. That's all there is to it. They're full of energy.
Yeah.
And fortunately, I know some great people from years of gigging. I was able to piece together a band that I can trust in like a short amount of time. Old friends. So that was my biggest thing. Is like I don't want to take the time to build something from complete scratch.
Yeah.
So being able to utilize musicians who I've known for 2 decades at this point, honestly. Yeah, I'll be able to do my thing and just trust that they're knocking it out. So very much looking forward to that.
Is Grand Rapids where you're from? You said you well, not from, but is that where you lived when you lived in Michigan?
Pretty close. So if you're in Grand Rapids and just keep going west until you hit water, there's this little town called it's like 2 towns right next to each other, Whitehall and Montague. So that's where I'm from originally, but I went to Grand Valley for college, so Grand Rapids feels home-ish.
Yeah, I whenever I say this, people are like, "Why?" But if you're from there, I don't know how you're gonna feel, but I love Detroit.
Detroit has sick parts to it. Like if you're
whenever I'm in Detroit, dude, I have so much fun out there.
Hell yeah.
I'm a Lions fan. Just hanging out in that downtown district, like right by the Tiger.
That's the spot. That's the spot.
I'll go grab some mom spaghetti before. I'll go to the Fox Theater after a game. Watch a show. I mean, Detroit's fucking fun. The Motown Museum, that was dope when I got to do that.
There's those few blocks right in downtown Detroit are badass.
They really are.
That's all you need right there.
Yeah, it's so funny. I'm a huge, still to this day, Eminem's my number one favorite artist of all time.
Oh hell yeah, nice.
And the very first time I went to Detroit was for an Eminem show.
Okay.
And but before that, it was my dad and I. We had a rental car, and we just drove down the entire length of 8 Mile.
Nice.
And we went to the street he grew up on, and his childhood home and his school and everything. I'm just like, man, I gotta come back here again.
Sick.
But yeah, so I've always I just have a bunch of good memories. I saw Beartooth in
nice.
in Detroit at the shelter, I think it was called.
Yeah. Oh yeah. Yep.
A lot of fun little spots out there, man. I miss Detroit. I got to go back
cool.
there again soon. Do you go to Michigan often?
Not really. Honestly, I'm lucky if I make it up there once a year. So I've still got family and everything there. But
Do you ever go to
flies.
Chicago since you're kind of close to it?
Not really.
No.
We went there last. So I'm in another band called Best Noodles in Town. We played in Chicago last year, and it was sick. We had a blast.
Yeah, I lived in Chicago for a bit, and yeah, I used to travel around and see all those states when I was around there. I miss Chicago so much. I like New York, but I love Chicago. So if someone were to say, "Hey, Vinny, where is the best place for everything funeral language? I wanna follow you and I wanna listen to all the things." Where would you send them?
Oh man. Honestly, probably my Instagram is where I feel like I'm the most myself. Between the videos I post and the stories I post, I'm the most engaged on Instagram. But Bandcamp, I'll have CDs available. I know it's kind of outdated, but I want this pressed on CD because I'm fucking 36 and I like CDs still.
I just turned 36 yesterday.
Nice, dude. Happy birthday.
Thank you. I'm part of the 36 club now.
Hell yeah. And I think most of my people who, if I look at my demographics on Spotify or whatever, it's it's all dudes between 30 and 40. I'm like, well, dudes between 30 and 40 still fuck with CDs, so
Yeah, they do.
we're
Absolutely.
making CDs.
And it's
So
funny.
Instagram, Bandcamp.
I was looking at all my analytics lately for the podcast, and it's 86% men who are in the age range of 24 and 35.
That's it. That's it, dude. Mine's 96% dudes. I'm
Really,
like,
that
how?
much? 90.
How am I missing an entire demographic of people? I was like, I get it, but
Yeah.
goddamn, throw me a bone here.
Yeah. And when I saw that, I'm like, I need more women on this show. Or maybe not. Maybe it's a thing. Maybe men just need to come on here and just start venting out their shit. There's a
talking
place
about
for
their
men. Exactly. Talk about moms.
It's important. It's important.
It is, dude. It really is. It really is. Well, dude, thank you so much for coming on this and sharing your story.
Thank you.
And like you said, it's not easy to have these conversations, especially with a stranger. So the more that people do that and have these open conversations in a place where they feel comfortable, of course, I feel it's super important. I feel the more people who talk, it's the more people that listen, then it just inspires others to talk and tell their story. I talk about my suicide attempt all the time, my bipolar all the time, and I'm just like, at first I was terrified, but I'm just like, the more I started talking about it to people, especially on this podcast, I started to realize I'm not really alone in these feelings.
Not
There's
at all.
a lot of artists who are actually bipolar, and I had an episode recently for someone who was describing her bipolar, and we just kind of do this really amazing conversation about music and how it relates to mental illnesses and stuff. Man,
Yeah.
it's wild, and I think these conversations aren't being had enough in the metal community. And I just thought it was an important thing.
Yeah.
So
I agree,
thank you
man.
for telling your story, because it's all part of it. It's all part of it.
Absolutely.
But that just means we'll have to do this again.
I'm down, dude. I loved this. I thought you crushed it. You made me look at multiple things from multiple different perspectives. This was more than I expected, so thank you so much.
Awesome.
Yeah.
But besides that, yeah, man, if you're ever in Brooklyn, hit me up.
Absolutely, I will.
And next time I'm in Indianapolis for a horror convention,
Hell yeah.
funeral director. That's funny. I went there. Funeral language. I'm here. Let's go to a funeral.
I'm 7 minutes 6 minutes away from the convention center. So I'm right here, baby.
And we'll go to a funeral together.
That'd be wild. We're just here. We're just here at the funeral.
That's our thing, dude. We should go to funerals together
Don't you
in
know who we
downtown
are?
Indianapolis.